First of all, let me introduce Erin Dinyovsky, who is the Transition Project Manager for Abu Dhabi Terminals. We're also joined this afternoon by Andre Toot, who is CEO of Sohar Port in Oman. And our keynote speaker for the session is Dr. Priyath Wickrama, who is Chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority. These are our three speakers today, as unfortunately, Patrick Ball from DP World is not able to join us. In his presentation, Dr. Wickrama will be looking at modern container terminals and give an insight into solving challenges in mega hubs. Dr. Wickrama has been the chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority since 2008, and in his capacity as the chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, is spearheading the construction of two megaport development projects. And you have to excuse me because one of them I'm really struggling to pronounce properly, so I might need Dr. Wickrama's assistance. But the one is the Colombo Port Expansion Project, and the other one is Rohunu Magampura Mahinda Rajapaksa. Oh, that wasn't too painful to listen to.
You always have those complicated things.
He's the chairman of the Jaya Container Terminals Limited and holds the position of chairman of the Sri Lanka Port Management and Consultancy Services, which is the main supporting service provider of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority. He is also a director of the Urban Development Authority and Colombo International Container Terminals Limited. He's a member of the Port Planning and Development Committee of International Association of Ports and Harbours, and he was recognized as the most outstanding person of Sri Lanka 2010 by HSBC and also by the International Association of Lions Club in 2011. And finally, Dr. Wickrama was the winner of the Sea Trade Middle East Young Person of the Middle East and Indian Subcontinent Award 2011. So I think these are excellent credentials, and we're very honored to have Dr. Wickrama with us for what I'm sure will be a very interesting presentation. Dr. Wickrama, please.
Good afternoon, members of the panel, invitees, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, let me thank Trevor and Chris for inviting me to make the keynote address in this session today. And I'm going to talk about the modern container terminals, and I would like to give an insight to solve the challenges in mega hubs. Efficient terminal management could be achieved with the cooperation of multiple stakeholders. We have to work with every stakeholder to get the best out of the issues we have at this moment. All such stakeholders are concerned with the aspects pertaining to international trade such as quality of services, punctuality of sailing, the care with which cargo is carried, and higher productivity and efficiency. The global economic crisis would invariably create numerous challenges to the terminal operators. The greatest challenge is a new wave of larger vessels. As shipping lines add larger vessels to their fleet and call only at limited number of terminals to keep down their transport cost, terminals are under pressure to provide deeper draft berthing facilities to accommodate large vessels. Terminal operators, those managed to maintain higher productivity and high service levels, could retain their existing business and attract new volume. They have responsibility to take all effort to protect the air and water along the shores and the health of the people using the port facility with lower pollution levels. It is the responsibility of the terminal operator to find solutions to all these challenges with minimum cost. Mainline container services have been ramping up the size and capacity of container ships from cellular ships of around 1,500 TEUs to ultra-large container ships of approximately 16,000 TEUs today. However, orders have been placed for more than 20,000 TEU capacity VLCCs capable of stacking 24 containers across the deck. Such large vessels will be used to achieve economics of scale. Terminal operators have to invest colossal sum of money for the design, construction, operation and maintenance of deeper draft berths to accommodate larger vessels. Current infrastructure of most of the ports and terminals does not permit expansion of facilities due to heavy cost on dredging and modification of existing facilities. Since most of the terminals have physical constraints such as bearing capacities of key walls, rail span, and design specifications, terminals have no other option rather than invest heavily on new terminals with necessary draft, etc., to cater for the demand to accommodate larger vessels. It has been established that the overall efficiency of ships in performing any given service is closely related to the time spent on that service. The desirable cost of the ship's time could be quantified in economic terms by removing delays to ships. Such improvement could be achieved by minimizing vessel turnaround time. Terminal users expect greater productivity and efficiency with improved operational performance. Therefore, terminal operators have to equip their terminals with gantry cranes, transfer cranes, harbor cranes, etc., with enhanced dimensions and new areas of applications to ensure higher crane productivity. Terminals should be developed with adequate space with facilities to stack, import, export, transshipment, reefer, and overweight containers separately to ensure minimum truck turnaround time. In addition to all these huge investments to look after the interest of vessel operators, they now have another responsibility to protect the nature. Emission levels in ports are generally high. In order to reduce pollution levels in ports, terminal operators should be concerned with green aspects which reduce global imbalance for longer survival. Challenges could be successfully faced with improvement of navigational facilities, resulting improvement in berthing and sailing vessels. Access channels should be adequately deepened to navigate any larger vessels to the terminals. So far as vessels are concerned, aids to navigation are among the most important accessory facilities. Terminal operators have to invest on improving facilities such as vessel traffic management solutions and various other aids to navigation to manage effective vessel sailing and berthing arrangements. The ports authorities have to increase widths of the port entrance and maintain larger turning circle in the harbor basin to maneuver high alloy vessels. It will be prerequisite to use high-powered trucks to pull and push these large vessels. In addition to improving navigational facilities, terminal users expect improved berth productivity. Hence, terminal operating companies have to improve infrastructure facilities at the berths. Along with the deeper draft berths, cranes with longer outreach such as 24 across and high air draft, twin and tandem lift operation facilities should be deployed. When draft of the berth is increased, capacity of bollards and fenders should also be strengthened. Allocation of specific time slots for regular callers with a view to manage optimum utilization of berths will be another requirement which should be addressed by the terminal operators. In this manner, deploying mega cranes, reducing non-operational time, allocating dedicated berths are some of the steps those should be taken to improve berth productivity. Terminals should be developed with facilities for effective yard allocation by introducing systems such as cargo segregation, expert decking tactics, yard marshalling, etc. Ample yard space should be made available by moving local cargo to locations outside the terminal to create more capacity in the yard. Of course, yards should be equipped with modern handling equipment such as RTGs with high stacking capacity, AGVs, etc. Efficient gate operation system minimize truck turnaround time and processing time, which will help to improve yard productivity. The step those should be taken, as discussed up to now, will have huge cost implications to every terminal operator. This is the biggest challenge we have at this moment. We don't have alternative course of action other than providing those facilities if you really want to survive under the current market scenario. However, we don't have flexibility which shipping community has now on pricing structure. These circumstances bring terminal operators under pressure from two directions. They should facilitate customers in order to survive in the industry with limitations to increase tariff to recover investments while it's being competitive in the market. Terminal operators have to minimize cost of operation at this moment due to the prevailing situation. We have to be really innovative to find solutions and should be deploy a team to address these issues on a continuous basis. Some of the existing operations we have are prime route application, double dipping operation, twin tandem sped operation, optimum utilization of yard space, minimum route operation, and optimum HR plans, etc. Port management and terminal operators involved with various types of systems. Though most of these systems could interconnected, they have been developed as isolated systems, resulting in high level of installation and running cost and HR involvement as well. Well-developed single system where all processes could be run will minimize the cost, increase the efficiency, minimize delays, and as well as reduce the involvement of HR. This is way to go ahead. Therefore, it is the time that terminal operators think innovatively to create a team to address all these challenges with the assistance of modern sophisticated technology. We have to think different. We have to go out of the box and must find a solution to these issues to minimize the operational cost inside the terminals. Terminal operators expect optimum yield by utilizing least HR involvement. Since terminals are not totally automated, a considerable labor force is still required to handle increase in throughput with higher level of berth, yard, and vessel productivity. There's a need for committed and skilled workforce to face challenges of the terminal operators with the implicit technological changes. A forward-looking HR plan to give the employees the right skill, knowledge, positive attitudes through training and development is essential for the optimum utilization of human resource. It is absolutely necessary to guide them to maintain the right mindset. Now I'm going to take little time out of this presentation to talk about Sri Lanka a bit. Due to the strategic location, Sri Lanka has become the gateway to the Far East, Middle East, Europe, Africa, Oceania, and more importantly to Indian subcontinent. This has stimulated the development of relations between the seaports and the rest of our country. Let me now explain the step taken by Sri Lanka Ports Authority to address the challenges and opportunities facing the terminal operators. We have been able to maintain higher productivity levels in all terminal activities with the added capacity and capabilities of current Port of Colombo. Our fleet of equipment has been strengthened by adding modern equipment such as 8 key cranes with 4 twin lift cranes, 13 new transfer cranes with high stacking capability, 50 terminal tractors, and new feeder berths to improve feeder network via Colombo, in addition to the feeder berths we have at this moment. And also with the addition of new equipment and yard space, we have added closer to 600,000 annual TEU capacity on top of 4.5 million existing capacity. And we have spent more than $200 million US only to upgrade the existing facilities in Port of Colombo. Due to the physical constraints we have in existing port, we cannot accommodate more than 10,000 TEU ships. We can't do additional dredging. We can't put these big cranes on top of rails we have at this moment. So, to overcome this issue, we decided to create a new port. Colombo Port Expansion Project has been launched to develop Colombo South Harbour with infrastructure facilities to meet international standards as a short-term and medium-term development program. The new port will consist of 3,200-meter long terminals with 3 main berths to handle mega container carriers. The dredge depths up to 20 meters in 265-meter basing, allowing to turn plus 450-meter LOA vessels. Through this project, SLPA will add 7.5 million containers after completion of the third stage of port expansion project. The terminals will be operational by August 2013. First 2 terminals will be operational. So you can see this picture. This one, we call it South Terminal. It's now under construction, will complete first 400 meters by July next year and another 200 meters by end of next year. So we'll have 600 meters here. And the East Terminal, we're going to do it through SLPA, and we are doing about 400 meters. So we'll complete that 400 meters by August next year. The minimum depth in this port is about 18 meters, and the South Container Terminal can go up to 25 meters. 25 meters. So we are planning to call tenders in near future depending on the requirement for the South Container Terminal as well. While this Colombo port is being developed mainly with container terminals, a modern port has been constructed in Hambantota, which is about 10 nautical miles away from shipping route from east to the west. The port will provide world-class infrastructure facilities for break bulk, and other service operations. Conventional cargo presently handled at Colombo Port will be diverted to Phase 1 and Phase 2 of Hambantota, Magam, Ruhnupura, Mahinda Rajapaksa Port. With the conversion of some of the general cargo berths in Colombo as container feeder berths. We need to improve feeder network via Colombo because these mega carriers need more and more feedering facilities in ports. So trying our best to expand that and to attract more feeders into Colombo to get more volumes. Such diversion of other operations to Hambantota will create more facilities for container handling at Colombo Port. Sri Lanka Ports Authority has designed third and fourth phase of Hambantota Port with more than 20 million container annual capacity to handle containerized cargo with a view to cater for the growing demand in east-west main shipping route in future. The port development project illustrates above will ensure Mahinda Rajapaksa Port in Hambantota to function as a service, naval and logistic hub with free port facilities. We promote manufacturing, value addition, multi-country consolidation, etc. in this port. I just need to go back and show the current status of this port. Port has been constructed, it's operational, it's only the phase 1. Phase 1, we have 2 main berths, one here and the other one here to handle oil and gas. We have a tank farm in this side, so we'll start supplying bunkers also during next year. So this is the more important part. We have completed only this part. This is phase 1. And we have started construction work for phase 2 as well. And we have kept provision to develop all these terminals. We can go up to 11 kilometers long quay walls and can go up to 22 meters in depth. With the investment of more than $2 billion and innovative solutions and cost-effective methods which are being taken by Sri Lanka Ports Authority will ensure servicing our valued customers to their satisfaction with greater productivity and efficiency at container terminals in our seaports. In addition to that, we have created many investment opportunities to attract investors to meet growing demands of Indian subcontinent with the best connectivity you can get it in this region. Therefore, we invite you to visit our terminals and experience modern facilities and effective methods available in Sri Lankan ports. Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed, Dr. Wickrama, for the presentation.